You are all extraordinary in my book, and I hope that you believe that. You are extraordinary because you desire something. You desire something special, something meaningful, something purposeful. You are special because you care. You all care. You care about what you're doing. You care about the person next to you. You care about that complete stranger. You want to make a difference. That makes you extraordinary because you care. You all want to create more. You want to make a difference. Some of you want to be iconic. Some of you want to have a TV show. Some of you want to do something. And some of you just love what you're doing right now and you want to stay in that same place and just continue to be your best. And it's amazing. That's your journey. We just have to go out there and show up how we would love the world to be. And if more of us do that, if we're not scared to do that, if we're not scared to be vulnerable and be ourselves, the world becomes a more beautiful, happy, loving, connected place because of our individual actions. We can't control everything. We don't. But we can control. We can control how we take in experiences. We can control our attitude. We can control the things we say or the things we don't. And that's a big one. We can control the things we say or the things that we don't. We sometimes don't say things that we should. We see things, but we're like, no. Or, oh, I don't want to be judged. Or, oh, am I going to be right if I say this? We have to speak from our heart. Speak your beliefs. Speak your truth. If you're speaking your truth, if you're coming from a place of speaking and being that you believe is true and good, don't hold that back. Don't worry about it. Yeah, sure, some people aren't going to like what you say because it's good and because you're helpful. And some people just aren't good and helpful. And that's okay, that's their journey. To just stay away from us. That's all. We can choose to be grateful for all that we have. We can choose to be grateful for all that we have, whatever that might be. Be grateful just that you woke up this morning. Be grateful that our legs work, you know? Be grateful that you can move. Be grateful that you can have experiences. Because the other choice is you can choose to be frustrated by all that you don't have. You can choose to be frustrated and you can choose to frame it that life forces you this way and life forces you that way. But how does that feel? That doesn't feel good. What's that going to do? Not much to help you, not much to propel you, not much to produce an amazing life for yourself if you're always feeling like this is forced upon us. So it's a choice. It's a choice of how you look at each circumstance, that you truly do have this blank canvas. We all do. We all have this blank canvas in front of us, a place of endless possibilities. So we have all these choices because we are the producers of our lives. We are the producers, not somebody else. We decide what our story looks like. We decide what the movie of our life looks like. We decide how this feels. We are the producers, so that means we cast all the parts. We choose who gets to play what role. Guess what? You can fire people from roles too. So you choose how long someone stays in that role. You decide when something just needs a redo. That didn't go so well. That's okay. It's okay for something to not go so well. Yeah, in the moment it sucks. It's not great, not a good feeling. But if you can walk away from that moment that didn't go so well and figure out how next time you can make it better, next time you're in that situation you can make it better, that's the role of being a good producer. You figure out how to evolve, not revolve and do the same things over and over again. You evolve, you grow. Being the producer, you also get to decide when it's time to cut that scene. this just isn't working. Call cut. Pull on that courageous strength that you have inside and call cut. Believe in yourself so strongly that you are this producer of your life that you get to call cut when it does not feel right to you. We decide what we want to put out there for this world to see. We're the producer, so you get to decide, who do you want to be in this world? Do you want to be the CEO or president or whatever, or do you want to be the vice president of sales because that's what you love? You love doing this role and that's what you want to be. You get to decide if you're a wedding planner or if you're going to be a lawyer, or if you're going to be a doctor or a banker. You get to decide, and you put out there what the world gets to see. You are the producer. You are the producer of your life. Set the stage for the months, the years, and even the decades to come. There's power within you. There's a light within you. There's this amazing producer within you. 6 years ago, thanks to Linda reminding us that's been 6 years of DTE, I stood on the stage for the first time, scared out of my mind. Didn't want to speak, actually. Didn't have a message to share. I didn't think I had anything to share. David, just go up there. You have to. This is our conference. We're doing it. We don't have a speaker, so you have to do it. There isn't a budget to pay for another speaker to come in. So I showed up and I did it. And I started to realize something. I was capable. We all are capable. We all are capable of anything we try and set our minds out to do. We do have all the tools. So you can think that we need to get this certification or that certification, or I need to read one more book, I need to research one more thing before I get up on stage and talk. If you actually just quiet down up here, you will realize you have the best tools. You all within you have the best tools, the best knowledge for yourselves from the experiences that you have had in life. So choose to use that. Choose to find the power in the journey of your life to let that propel you to the next place. You all have this ability. You have this ability to create the reality that you wish your life to be. You're not stuck. See beyond any limiting beliefs. See beyond the doubt, the lack. See beyond the fear. I'm not saying don't have fear, because sometimes that's a misnomer. People say, well, just be fearless. Yes, act fearless, but fear is a great, great little reminder to clue us in. All right, I'm scared of this. I'm fearful. Why? Oh, because people are going to see me. Well, why am I scared of people seeing me? What is there really to be scared about? Let me go forward and let me do this. Let me take this step one at a time. I'm going to believe in myself. That's what you need to do. You need to have this belief in yourself at all points. In the highs, in the lows. In the highs, smile, believe in yourself, be proud of yourself for what you've accomplished. And in those lows, acknowledge that it's a low. And we're going to have those on our journey. And it's okay, because you can get through it. You can get through it. That's what this is. It's creating this mastery of yourself. This realization that everyday experiences happen. Life happens. The parts of life that happen that we can't control happen. But it's your choice of how you choose to let them in. You choose to feel about them, how you feel about them. I think that's the powerful choice in everything, where we say, well, it's all in my hands, it's all in my hands. Yes, there are elements, but the important element of how you choose to feel, how you choose to show up, how you choose to use that experience, that's all you. That's all you. Our final choice of any experience is ours. It's how we make it, we let it make us feel, and then also how are we going to use it for the better or for the worse in our lives. So, you own this piece of it. I get it. I don't know what it's like to be you, and you don't know what it's like to be me. But one thing I know that is universal, and that's what makes you all the producer of your own lives, is choice. The power of choice. My journey, it's had those staggering highs. They're amazing. They are amazing. When you're on fire and you're in that high place, my highs have been amazing. But I've also had those staggering lows. Those are not fun. I have the times that I feel like I'm invincible. Can't miss. Anything I'm going to do, it's going to be great. But then there are also those times that I wonder. I wonder if I won't get anything right, or if anything will happen, or if I have anything to offer at this time. And so you do get into that little bit of a struggle sometimes, But here's the thing. I love this. I love my rosy-colored glasses. That's how I choose to live my life, to have my rosy-colored glasses, to find some positivity, to find some light in what's going on, to find some meaning for it for me. There are those wars that go on, which I point to my head. You have those battles, and I think a lot of us have those battles that we question, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Should I do this? But when we settle down and find this place of just calmness, those battles subside a bit, and we start finding the clarity. So for me, when you see my smile, it's usually there. It's a real one, because I'm not good at faking it. I try to mess with David and give him a good lie every now and then. He's like, you're a bad liar. And I am. My point of that is that you find this place in you. You find who you are and who you want to be and how you want to show up, and you just do it. So when you come into this place of a struggle, for me, when I come into my place of struggle, or I'm in a dark and I'm in confusing time, do you know what gets me back out? I reconnect with my core beliefs. I reconnect with my core belief that anything is possible. That this point that I'm at right now, this feeling that I'm having, this day that I'm having, or a couple days that I'm having, it's only going to be just that. Because I don't want to stay here. This is not what I want to produce. That's what I'm saying about this producer mentality. It's a true mentality of, I don't want to produce a life that I feel I'm in this struggle every day, or I'm in this dark place every day. So I don't want to stay there for too long. And I'll struggle through it myself for a little while. Sometimes I'll pull myself out of it, but I keep a checkpoint on myself. This awareness that we each should keep for ourselves of, all right, I've been here too long. I need help. And I reach out, or I open up more and start sharing more what's going on. And that's when I realize, figured it out, the golden light hits. And it can be that quickly. I try little things sometimes before I start reaching out. Play with music. I love my music. I think it's very important of listening to just words and reframing those words that you hear in lyrics of songs to make sense for you. So when that random song comes on, it's not really random. Listen to it. It was meant for you in that moment. And just feel whatever it is that you feel from that song and see how that could pull you back out. Because my core understanding, this is my core understanding, as I said. I am the producer of my life. I am. So for those of you that have done any coaching with me, you know that's an I am statement. Those statements are powerful. We're not getting into those today because that's a whole nother session. But that's my statement for it. I am a producer of my life. I can create. I choose what comes into my life. I believe that my everyday experiences are my choice. So I was very, very, very intentional with the song that came on that was playing right before I took this stage. Don't give up on me. I use that as a song for me, not to give up on myself. I will fight for myself. I want you all to fight for yourselves. It's a good fight. It's not that bad, scary fight. It's a good fight. Fight for what you believe in. Fight for the life that you want to create. Fight for yourself. When you're in a place of struggle, fight to pull yourself back out of that place. I will not give up on myself. I will fight. Even when I'm down to my last breath, even when this fight has been a long one and a hard one, I will not give up. That's a powerful song for me because it is my inspiration to rise back up, to take on the challenge, and to see that there is a joy in the journey. There is a joy in the journey. It's not linear. We go up and down valleys, fall down the cliff a little bit, hopefully not too much to hurt ourselves. But if we do, we get help, we heal, and we rise back up. It's our journey. Fight for it. Fight and commit to yourself to be the producer of your own life, to not hand that role over to somebody else, because that's your role. That's your sacred role of you produce your life. You can support others, you can help others, you can do for others, but your sacred role is to produce your life. So make that choice. I make that choice. I wish for you, this is my wish, that you find yourself in this place, this crazy, unshakable belief place, that you never give up, you never quit, you never stop believing in yourself, you never stop believing that everything is possible. All your dreams, if you dream it, it's within you. That means it's possible. They're only a choice. Every single dream, it's just a choice or a series of choices away if you choose to produce it. If you choose to produce your life and your dream and allow it in. It comes to a place where you just have to decide, like what I had to decide, and realize some acknowledgments that you make for yourself. I'm vulnerable. I'm unsure at times. I am stubborn at times, I know. But I'm also hopeful. I'm open-minded. I'm resourceful. I'm optimistic. Realize what your package is. That's my package of goods that I mess with. But realize what your package is. Be honest with yourself. Love yourself. This morning in yoga, I had everyone just put your hand over your heart. Just feel your heart and give your body back that love. Say thank you to yourself for showing up. Say thank you to yourself for investing in yourself, for taking the time to grow, for making the choice to grow. Love yourself. You have to set that example for the world of what loving yourself looks like, means, feels. Give yourself that love, and you show the world how you deserve to be loved. Because when you do that, you get into this amazing space. You will get into this amazing just headspace, energy space, whatever kind of space you want to call it, the space of life, that you will see and you will 100% believe and feel that anything is possible. You just have to want it. You just have to fight for it, and you just have to claim it. Do you still have a lot of fight left in you? Do you still have a lot of fight left in you? One match, that's all it takes to make an explosion. One match of a thought that you have inside that you choose to act on can make an explosion in your entire life in a good way. In a good way. It's your choice. Fight for what you want. Fight for what you dream in. You control the script. You control the script. It's all your choice. You are the one that makes these choices. This is your life. So ask yourself. Write it down on your paper and ask yourself. And think about this later on. How am I doing as the producer of my life? Are you clear with what you are producing? Do you believe in it? Do you believe in that dream of that life that you are creating? Do you believe in it? Are you committed to it? Are you committed to making your desires, your dreams, come to reality? All the pieces you need, I said it, all the pieces you need to create the dream life are here. Because if you dream it, it's within you again. So that means you just have to be bold enough. You just have to breathe and be bold enough to step in and to claim what is yours. You have to be open enough. You have to be open enough to receive. So you have to have some space in there to receive as well. But you have to be open to the other perspectives that are out there around you. The other viewpoints and vantage points of how do you get to your dream. Because sometimes we have this dream, and it's okay not to see how to get to it. So that just means you have to be more open to what are these possible paths to getting there? What are these possible ways? You know, I loved Mandy yesterday. David and I, we adore her. And I hope you did too, of that you create your network that's going to just push you, remind you who you are, remind you to never quit, to never lay down. So when you think about how you're doing as the producer of your life and get really, really clear on it of what you want, the next step is you can't sit down and wait for it. You have to take the steps. And don't get so overwhelmed. Don't get so overwhelmed by all the steps that there might be. Take one step and then the next and the next, and the steps will get clearer. It's not a cliche. That really, truly does happen. That first step is the scariest. It's the wobbliest. Your foot's shaking, your leg's shaking, your whole damn body's shaking. But just like when you have to say something, you might be shaking to say it. You might be shaking to take that first step. Do it. Do it. And then go step by step. And you realize that wait a minute here. I am the one in charge. I'm the one in charge of this journey of my life because I'm the producer of it. So I just said that a second ago about you have to be willing to have those conversations that are difficult at times, that your voice is gonna shake. You have to be willing to have those conversations that are uncomfortable at times, because either you're saying cut, or you're saying we need a redo of this. You're saying that was not how that was supposed to go. You're having the conversation with somebody that might have failed you. You have to be willing to have those conversations. Because if you don't have the conversations, if your team fails you, or your spouse, or somebody that's important to you on your team fails you, and you don't have that conversation because it's a difficult one, and you don't want to hurt their feelings, you don't want to ruin the relationship, well, by not having the conversation, you ruined the relationship already. Because it wasn't being honest. It wasn't being honest with them, it wasn't being honest with yourself. So it's scary. Trust me, I get it. I'm scared of those conversations too. I think we all can be. When you have that difficult conversation, they're hard to do, but they're worth it. They're worth it, and you realize that after you start having more and more of them, and you have them from your place of love, from your place of guidance. So when you're having that difficult conversation, it's not having that, you try to not have it from a place of anger. You try to calm yourself down so you can have it from a place of calmness, a place that you can at least have that difficult conversation from a place of love, from your authentic self. But when you start figuring out how to do that for yourself, how to produce those kinds of conversations that aren't easy, that's that huge step. That's another huge step. It's a hard one, but it's a huge one. Because just think of all the positive aspects that can come out of having that difficult conversation instead of what could go wrong. You have that conversation with somebody that failed you that maybe didn't realize they failed you. All of a sudden, you just enlightened them. You just shared a huge gift. You just enlightened them of, oh, I didn't realize that that happened. Because that other person totally might not have. So don't assume that they did. Don't assume that they were just being an asshole. Realize that there is power in sharing those difficult conversations when things go the wrong way. Don't focus on everything that's going to go wrong by you having this conversation. Instead, look at what's going to happen. Look at the benefits and believe in the benefits, because truly, at the end of the day, the benefits outweigh the discomfort, if only for this one reason. If you don't have the difficult conversation, and you knew you should have had that difficult conversation, whether it's right after that conversation, the next day, the next week, a year later, you're going to go through what I think is one of the worst cycles in your head that you can go through of the woulda, shoulda, wish I had syndrome. And that one sucks. And that one you completely created for yourself. And that's why it sucks, because you realize that you did create it for yourself. So instead of creating it for yourself, instead of having yet another one of those cycles going through your head, start figuring out how to avoid them. Avoid them not by avoiding everything and running off a stage. Avoid them by addressing them. Addressing them with kindness, with love, so that you stop that second guessing of all the things you wish you could have done or you wish you could have said. See something that you need to change, change it. See something as you're working on a project that's not going right, that might not be your thing, do something about it. Because at the end of the day, if it falls back on you as your project, you can't say, well, it was so-and-so's fault, or it was this vendor's fault. figure it out. You have to be part of the solution. You have to take charge as the producer to make sure that everything that you want does come through, because you can control it. You actually can. So that you stop the woulda, shouldas. That's the producer mindset. You stop avoiding these difficult conversations. You start believing in yourself more and more. The mission that you're on. You believe in this mission, in this dream that you have, in the life that you want to create. And so then it makes it that much easier to have the conversations that could be difficult, but the conversations that support what you're producing, the dream you're going after. When you connect, that's why I say you need to connect with what that dream is so that you can use that power when you need to. You can use that to connect to it. Because on the surface, sure, it is easier said than done. We all know that. We've read books, we've gone to seminars, we've heard people speak. It's easier said than done. But I've been applying this stuff, and once you start, and once you take that little step, then that next one, and then the next one, then the steps start getting more normal. And they start getting easier and easier. And when you start figuring out all these different ways that you can connect back with yourself on this deeper level, you start feeling it. And you start figuring out how you are pulling yourself closer and closer to everything that you've desired, to everything that you've wanted to produce. So, yeah, on the surface, easier said than done, but if you do it, it starts getting easier and easier too. So it's not this thing. It just takes this clarity of what you are truly passionate about, what you want to create, what you want to produce. Have that clarity for it. Understand the why. Understand the why are you doing this? Why are you taking these steps? Why are you going in this direction? Why are you producing this for your life? Understand that why. Get so closely connected to that why. Ask the next question of why. And why? I'm producing this because I want to have money. Well, why do you want money? Well, because if I have money, then I'm not going to feel unsafe. Well, why do you feel unsafe? Well, because of this. Well, why? And go deeper with yourself through some of these whys to really understand your purpose of what this dream is. When you do that, when you go through and you truly understand what your dream is, that thing that we all call passion, it explodes in that good way of explosion because it's so full within you. You are so fully connected to it. It's not just this surface thing anymore. It's this true desire. That burning desire that you hear about. That's what you all have that opportunity to create. Using emotions as the powerful forces that they can be. Harness that emotion of passion and everything that comes from it and use it. So ask yourself this. Are you harnessing and using the emotions of passion? Using the emotions of desire to create that what you want in your life? Are you using your emotions, all of them? Because there's a whole gamut of emotions, as we know. Are you using all of those emotions to help propel you most of the time? Or most of the time, are they pulling you back? Figure that out. Do some good, honest self-reflection. Figure it out and figure it out how you need to reframe, reproduce, rewrite, so that it pulls you forward, so that you can be the best producer of your life. Get honest. What excites you? Write down that question. What excites you? What excites me? And then put something down there that's honest, like truly honest. No one else has to see this if you don't want, but what truly excites you? What do you believe in? What do you believe in? Why do you believe in that? Figure out those two things and figure them out oh so honestly and oh so connected. Your passion that you can create from that becomes unstoppable because it's yours. You are that engine of that train. And I want each and every one of you, that's my wish. It's up to you to do it. I invite you to do it. It's my wish for you each to be unstoppable. I want you to have this great feeling, this freedom feeling that anything is possible. Anything is possible. So here's a little bit for you of a 100-day producer challenge. We're doing good. I have 11 minutes. So I pulled these questions out of a coaching intake form that I use for creating a 100-day plan. Because it's really important when you make some changes in your life or in your business that you stop for a minute, pause. You pause to take an inventory. I think we heard that word yesterday. You take an inventory of where you're at right now. Take an inventory of where you're at right now. And then what needs to be addressed. So, write down these questions, ponder them on the flight home, ponder them later on tonight, whenever next week. But do something with these. See what can happen. I invite you, and I would love to see this in our Facebook group, of see what will happen over the next 100 days if you commit to this. Start by this. Where am I right now? Where am I right now? So that can be describe your life. Describe your home environment, your relationships, your hobbies. How's your business? What are some accomplishments that you have? What are some things that you're the most proud of? You know, where am I at right now? Write that down and just think about what that means for you. 2, what's working? What's working? What's going well in my life? What's going well personally? What's going well professionally? Acknowledge what's going well. What's working? Sometimes we don't acknowledge what's working because we're just on this autopilot mode. We have to go to one thing and the next, and then there's this next event coming, then I have to go here and this and that. Then we forget to just stop and acknowledge the power that comes from realizing what's working. It's a good thing. Because too often we focus on number 3 of what's not working. You need to look at that. But I want you to look at that after you look at what's working. So look at what's working first, and then look at number 3, what's not working. And by what's not working, I mean, what wastes your time? What drives you crazy? You know, what are some things that you could just stop? What are some things that you could delegate? And then number 4 that I just want you to look at here in the simple version of my 100-day challenge is make a claim. Your number 4 piece to do on this sheet, on this exercise, is moving forward. In 100 days, where would I like to be? In 100 days, how would I like to feel that's different from how I feel today? In 100 days, how would I like my business to be that's different than where it is today? How would I like my personal life to be different than it is today? What's my 100-day commitment to make a change? Make something honest. Make something attainable. Make something that you feel really connected to. Make something that you will commit to. And then think about it. So you make your statement of where you want to be in 100 days. What needs to be put in place to get you there? What do you need to shift in your mindset or shift in your environment to get you there? So take time with these questions. Take time and give them real thought. Give them real thought and go deep on them. Understand the why you created your 100-day goal. Why you did it. And not just one reason why. Find a why for your why for your why. Like, go a couple whys down. And I promise you, if you go a couple whys down on why you created that 100-day goal, you will be unstoppable. You will be so laser focused on that, you will be unstoppable. Remember these two parts as well, because these are two important parts that sometimes often also get forgotten. Self-acknowledgement and self-care. We need cheerleaders. We need support systems in our lives. We absolutely do. We need those. But it has to start with us. It has to start with us. Self-acknowledgement. You have to be able to celebrate your victories. It's okay to tell yourself you did a good job. Tell yourself you did a good job. Thank yourself for what you did. Celebrate your successes along the way. It's not showboating, it's not gloating. Celebrate you. Tell yourself thank you. You're not a crazy person for talking to yourself and telling yourself thank you. Yes. Recognize. Get in tune with yourself so that you can recognize when you need to break out. When you need to break out of those patterns, those old ways, those old belief systems, the ways of thinking that have held you back. Come to that powerful place of you that you can step into your power and be grounded solid in your power to realize this wasn't working. It is time to change. And then change it. Take that step. Whether it's a powerful step, a shaky step, I don't care what kind of step. But decide if something's not working for you, change it. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself because you're a person that shows up, as I said when I started. You're a person that shows up for others. You're a person that cares for others. You are here. Be proud of yourself for everything that you've done to get you to this moment in life. You've gone, I'm sure, through a lot of pain and troubles and things that just didn't seem fair that they happened. But they happened and you got through it because of you. You got through it because of you. Yes, there might have been a support system around you, but it was your choice to use that support system, let that support system help you, and it was your choice then to actually make those steps to get through whatever has happened in the past to get you here today. So be proud of yourself. That's self-acknowledgement. Being proud of yourself. It's going to fuel your passion. It's going to refill your cup. You can refill your own cup with that self-acknowledgement. Take time out to take care of yourself. Take time for self-care. Self-care, sit and enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning. Don't just grab the coffee and run or the tea and run. Sit sometimes. It doesn't have to be every day. Yeah, that would be nice for it to be every day. But if you can get just a couple times where you're not always running, where you can actually sit in stillness and not, I have to think about this or I have to do this, or we're just going to see what's going on here. No, just sit, be. Look outside, look at the clouds. Whether it's a rainy day or a beautiful sunny day, look outside and just see something. Self-care it's this misnomer of self-care. Self-care does not have to be going to the spa or the yoga studio, although I'm very fond of both. Self-care is you just taking some time out for yourself in any way that is meaningful for you. And even if it's a crazy, crazy, insane day, it could be 30 seconds that you just pause and recognize yourself and your breath for 30 seconds. Because that's a big step for a lot of us, to just slow down for that 30 seconds. And so then acknowledge that you did. Our world's crazy. Crazy with you're running from this to that to that. In the crazy, in the chaos, and everything that goes on around, find that time and find that way and that power for you to realize you are the producer of your life. So just be. Just be. Just be you. Just be great. You are the producer of your life. You cast all the roles. You set the direction. You choose the script. You get to decide how you want to feel. You get to decide what you want to be. Choose greatness. Choose the belief in yourself. Choose to be your best you can be. Choose to be the best that you can be. Show up. Show up. And be happy and be proud of who you are. Thank you. Thank you for the privilege of being here today. Thank you for the privilege of being with you. Thank you for making this trip to California to be with all of us and to be together. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I love you all, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.